All right, my room is a straight up pigsty, so please just ignore all of this. I'm using a shitty webcam because I'm doing a bit of a live stream setup because I just finished watching the first episode of Tales of the Walking Dead. Came out a little bit early for the people who have AMC Plus. As you know, I just posted a video today all about how I really have issues with The Walking Dead, but I still like the show. And when I heard about the story of Tales of the Walking Dead, I should say, I was very excited to check it out, and honestly, it didn't disappoint. I think we had Terry Crews, I think's his name, and some other actress, and then there was only one other actress in it. Pretty much in the entire episode, there was only 3 people, and it was done really well. I watched a video today by Movie Idol talking about the episode and how they were a little disappointed that some of the callbacks didn't have to do with Tyrese, or some of the things didn't have to do, like they were filming on what looked like Terminus, but they never said it was Terminus, or the fact that they were filming on the train tracks. But you know what? Honestly, I just ignored all of that stuff because I thought the story was really cool. Essentially, the episode revolved around Terry Crews and some actress. Let's see her name. Let's see. If we look up Tales of the Walking Dead here, and I'm going to move over the scene. So if I put in Tales of the Walking Dead, let's see. It looks like, okay, so it was this person, Olivia Munn. So we had Olivia Munn in it. We had Terry Crews in it. And then there was someone else. I don't know if they're shown in this. Definitely wasn't Poppy Leo. But regardless, these were some of the people in this episode, and they did a fantastic job. The story in this episode, the first one, followed around Terry Crews, who was really an anarchist and had everything prepared before the apocalypse. It was all about him and Olivia Munn, who played Evie. So it was Joe and Evie, and she also was kind of an anarchist and had everything set up. And Terry Crews, was on his way to find this girl he was like basically getting catfished by, which was really interesting. So he was on his way to go find her somewhere out in Ohio, and he happened to stumble across Evie, and she kind of held him up at gunpoint, and it turned out she was really just not too bad. She was kind of like a hippie, a modern day hippie, and she didn't even have a gun loaded. So they ended up going to Ohio together because she was also looking for some guy. I mean, the story was a cliched, very just classic Hollywood story of people finding love, but it was good. I mean, it was really good to see, number one, comedy in the Walking Dead universe, and also the story of these random 2 characters that we've never met before and have no reason to care about. It was really interesting to follow them, and I ended up really liking it. Turns out later down the road, if you want to avoid spoilers, I'm going to stop here. I'd recommend you stopping here, but if you don't want to know spoilers, yeah, get out. Anyway, turns out Terry Crews finds the catfish that he's been talking to online during this apocalypse, and she goes absolutely crazy. She has a really sick bunker, may I add. Like one of the coolest bunkers ever. It's literally like a man cave paradise. It's awesome. But he finds her, and she turns out to be crazy and drugs him with a edible, and he gets almost killed by her. But then Evie steps in to save the day, and then the story ends there. And I really did like it. I thought it was done well. I hope eventually we do see Joe and Evie back in the story. I don't know if they're going to do that because these are obviously just one-off episodes. And I really like that idea. I don't know how they're going to execute with, I think it's the next 5 of these, but I'm glad they exist because honestly, Fear the Walking Dead was terrible. And then, what's that other one? The World Beyond? That shouldn't even exist. So this finally feels like a Walking Dead spinoff of sorts that is done right. So I figured instead of just going in and review, we would check out the subreddit for The Walking Dead and just see what people are saying about the episode, because I guess some people had mixed feelings about it. See, here's one that I think is funny, and this is what they were saying, and this is what was being said in Movie Idol. And I love Movie Idol, but I didn't really agree that it was like a waste that they reused Terminus, because I didn't care. Like, This comment saying by Morgan Lee, they literally reused the Terminus set. Why didn't they have it actually be Terminus and bring back Gareth and Co? The series opener was mediocre as fart. A Terminus cameo would have at least semi-saved it by providing something genuinely interesting in an otherwise snooze fest. See, I disagree with this. I honestly thought the episode was good, and I think the thing about this is I feel like a lot of Walking Dead fans were really excited to see all these little Easter eggs tie in to the candid story of The Walking Dead, but I don't really care about that, to be completely honest with you. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, and I thought the story was really cool in and of itself because it set this, which I loved, it set this feeling of a very lonely world, which was something I loved about the Candid series. So, I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to see your thoughts in the comments about this, but I disagree. I don't care if they were filming on Terminus or anything like that. I really liked what they did with the story, and I didn't really need it to tie in. It finally felt like a bit of a breath of fresh air. So, let's see. Here's another one from Colby Rose. To be honest, the only thing I really thought after this episode was, man, they're really taking my loyalty to the franchise for granted, aren't they? Again, another thing I honestly disagreed with. Thought this was a pretty good episode of something totally different. So it's pretty interesting. I guess I'm seeing the Reddit basically have a negative reception to this show, and literally this is happening live because I haven't checked here at all, and I just finished watching the episode, so kind of disappointing to see some of this. Damn, not the dog. I know. Yeah, that's another thing. In the beginning of the episode, Joe's dog, Terry Cruz's dog, passed away. He got eaten by a walker, and that's like the worst thing to see besides a horse or anything like that. All right, let's see. Here's another one. It's an okay episode. Oh, this is by Upper Decision 5959. It's an okay episode. Looks like Joe has been in the bunker since the beginning and only had his dog. When his dog dies, he's alone in the bunker. We all know from studies like during the space race, you being home and alone in isolated, confined space without social interactions will turn you crazy mentally. It's true. It's what happens to the women Joe was talking with. She was in the bunker alone for a few months, and her delusion and imagination was running wild. Joe also somewhat experienced this with the book of text and seeking out the women because of the human need for companionship. The same can be said for Evie. Looking forward to the next episode since it's the very beginning of a society collapsing and it looks before the military was deployed. Yeah, that looked really cool. I saw a little bit about that, but I kind of wanted to check that out. So, yeah, for starters, exactly what they said. I thought this was a really good episode and set a really nice tone. So, let's see if I can find the trailer for this next episode. Let's see. Trailer episode 2. I don't know if it's going to be out on here, but I am interested in seeing. Let's take a look. Hope I don't get copyrighted here or anything.
Why are you so desperate to get out of Atlanta?
Things bad. Very bad. People are going crazy.
Okay, so yeah, this is cool. This is the start of it, it looks like. And I don't know how this is going to come out on audio, but... Huh. Okay, wait, this is a sneak peek, I'm realizing, but still, I'm okay with that. I kind of dig this. This is the exact sort of thing I was hoping The Walking Dead would do. Alright, this is really cool. Alright, I don't know how this is going to be as far as volume goes here. Oh, wait, I really like this. I really like this. This is cool. Oh, man, yeah, I'm actually very excited for this. Oh. Oh, shit. Oh. Yeah, see, like, this is the stuff that I'm looking forward to from The Walking Dead. I really appreciate that they're doing stuff like this. So yeah, from Upper Decision 5959, I actually totally agree here. I'm definitely excited for that one. So, let's see, I'm only going to run through a couple more, but I think you get the gist. So, let's see. This is from Simply Matt 1995. I was really optimistic about this show going into it, and I'm still trying to be, but I thought the pilot was awful, personally. Laughable, shoestring budget, cringe dialogue and acting. Even Terry, please don't burn me at the stake for saying that. a poorly written villain and just not much there story-wise. Definitely not suitable as a series opener, that's for sure. Okay, I totally see what they're talking about, where it just seemed a little cheesy with the cringe dialogue. I mean, I just talked about how I think the writing in The Walking Dead is not good, at least not anymore. But anyway, so I see what they're saying here, and I do feel like it had a shoestring budget. Like, this episode kind of reminded me of the 6 or 4 extra episodes in season 10 of The Walking Dead. It felt very different and like it was low on a budget. And yeah, I see what they're saying about it being a poorly written villain and all that, but the story was, I guess the word I'm looking for is cute. The story was just all around cute. It was cool that it was set in an apocalypse, and I like what they're doing with it. So I'm still going to stick with my guns and say that I liked it. I totally get what Simply Matt 1995 here is saying, that he thought it was awful, because I could see how some who were expecting something very different would think that, but I feel like this is the kind of difference that The Walking Dead needed. I'm okay with it. And then we have from Frank Farrow, the reused locations, the laughable villain, the $2 budget. I cannot believe this was the pilot, to be honest. Okay. So it looks like based off of this reception, and like I said, this is about to be a flop from the Walking Dead community. That's a shame. I thought it was really good. Someone else, Captain here, said, really hope they would come out swinging with the pilot. To each their own. Let's see. Okay, this is a long one. I'm gonna skip past that one. Let's see. From ZSS Mom, we have, I liked it. I missed The Walking Dead. Happy to have something to look forward to weekly. Yeah, I agree with this. And I'm glad that this is coming out at a time where The Walking Dead is ending, because it opens the possibilities. So yeah, I agree with that. And this is going to be my last one, and then I'm going to get off here. But let's see. It was a pretty good, this is from Louis Delcid 12. It was a pretty good episode. Felt a little off at some points with the lines and how Eve magically just knew where Terry's character was. Totally agree with that, by the way. LOL, but Terry Crews really nailed it. I think I'm glad the goat survived. Yeah, finally a goat survived in The Walking Dead, unlike Tabitha from that episode with Morgan and Eastman. Anyway, yeah, I do agree with that, where he said it fell off at some points, where Eve just magically stumbled upon Terry's location as if they talked about that. I guess you could assume that they talked about it, but this goes back to poor writing, right? In a show like Better Call Saul, which I haven't made any videos yet about, and I plan on it, but in a show like that, yeah, they could do things like that and make it make sense, because the writing is so strong, you just magically assume that they had the conversation about that before. However, in this show, when Eve just magically showed up outside of the bunker that Terry Crews was at, it just kind of felt cheesy. It didn't feel right, and that's kind of what I said in the beginning. It felt cute. There were some parts that were just like, a little cheesy, blah, blah, blah. The writing wasn't the best, but again, I'm okay with that. I liked what these are doing, and remember, this show is not a show where we're going to spend time with Joe, who, Terry Crews, or with Eve. We're not going to be spending time with these characters. Maybe, possibly, this is the last time we're ever going to see them. So to me, it's okay to have a little bit of that. I don't care if I have to suspend a little disbelief for a cool story. And yeah, that's really how I feel about it. I think I'm going to start to do something like this more for episodes. If I watch an episode, maybe I'll just pop on, I'm on OBS right now, just pop on a quick live stream, get the Logitech Stream Cam out, and see what Reddit's talking about. So it looks like the community is kind of mixed on it. A lot of negativity I'm seeing in here. I get it. It's another Walking Dead spinoff. Some people have strong animosity towards that. And I personally didn't like any of the other spinoffs from The Walking Dead. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching this video. So the first episode of Tales of the Walking Dead, Evie and Joe, pretty good. Really cool start of an interesting idea. Not the world's best episode of TV, but I liked it. And now I'm about to go clean my room, because as you can see, it is a pigsty. So thank you so much for coming out to this video. I'll see you in the next one, probably for another Tales of the Walking Dead episode review. And until then, peace out.